We're heading into week 3 of Afterbirth Plus and people are starting to get very comfortable with Lua and the modding tools, but what have people been creating this week? Let's find out. Hey everybody, here, welcome back to the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus weekly mod showcase. We're back for episode 3, week 3. We have some good mods this week. If you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments below as always. Without any further ado, let's just jump in to this week's mods. Mod number 1, we have Silas. Silas is a brand new character, a new playable character in the game, all custom drawn, very nice looking character, based around, from what I can tell from the mask, a plague doctor from like Renaissance. I forget I don't know my European history very well, but you know what I'm talking about. Very cool looking character, and the reason why this guy is interesting is because he has an item called Mad Science. It's a spacebar item, but it's a passive, like it has a direct effect. Like it's a spacebar item that is also your actual tears. Basically what it is he has 4 different types of potions, which are his main attacks. And by pressing the spacebar, he can cycle through which potion he's using. The 4 potions are the green potions, which create creep at long range, which will do a lot of damage on the floor. Red potions that are like ipecac shots with super long range. Yellow potions, which are medium range, but can have any effect applied to them. So they're sort of the standard attack, but with medium range. And then the blue potions are short range that splatter tears to enemies close by. There are actually synergies in the game, including the tech items, Brimstone, Dr. Fetus, explosive items, Montage, Long, etc, etc, so it doesn't fuck with any of the synergies. In fact, it's actually applied those, and there's some awesome synergies in there as well. It does, since it's a spacebar item, you can't pick it up and put it down, you constantly have that, and it sort of works similar to the Void in that if you do come across a spacebar item within the game, you will pick it up and it sort of explodes into some like drops and stuff, in case you do happen to come across a spacebar item in the game. It's very cool, I really like it. It's just an interesting way of playing the game, similar to what I talked about with May last time. It's just I like having that slightly different way of playing the game, a different way of thinking about it, with the fact that you've got to be cycling through the weapons and the attacks so that you can keep a good flow and an efficient flow of when you're fighting enemies. I think it's pretty cool. Okay, next up we have Max's Head. Simple little item, gives you a 0.5 damage upgrade and then times your damage by 1.5. That's about it really, but I like it, it's cool. Next up we have the garden. This is a new room, but there's a bit more to it than that. It's a very nicely textured new room, similar to the way you'd get like a library or something like that. It's a new room, you can get across the side, you go in, there's a lovely tree, there's some nice texture and stuff, and there's actually a boss in there called the Serpent. He's a new boss that you can fight. Also included with this is a new song with the room and 11 new items. It essentially has its own item pool called the Garden Pool, and it has 11 items in that pool and it draws them from that. It's still being worked on. They recently added 2 new items to that, and they are still working on it. Potentially going to be adding some more items, potentially just going to be adding more enemies or something, who knows. But for now it's just a cool little addition. Like it's not a huge game-changing thing, but it's just a nice little change, a nice little something to spice up the average run. If you come across that, obviously you probably won't see it every run, but it's just cool. It's a cool new boss to fight, and it's very well designed, very nicely drawn. A lot of the art that we've seen so far this series has been very nicely drawn, and this is definitely not to be excluded from that. And yeah, 11 new items, which I'm not going to spoil. It does also come with a challenge as well called Genesis, so again, just a bonus, why not? Check out the challenge. And speaking of challenges, we have our challenge of the week this week, and it is called 6 item roulette, and this is pretty simple actually, but it's really cool. Essentially, every time you come across any form of item, whether that be in the item room, the boss, the devil deal, any form of item in the game, and it will essentially pick 6 items from that pool, or from that subset as well, but I'll talk about that in a second, and it will cycle through these 6 items, and you pick up one of them, and it's as simple as that. And it's like roulette. You can try and time it and pick up the specific one you want if you're trying to do that, or alternatively you could just blind dog it and see what happens, see what items you get. Cycles through at a reasonable speed in that it's, if there's one specific item you want and you time it well enough, you can get it, but also that it's not just like easy, because obviously that's not the point. So you could get something that you want, you could get something else, who knows, but it's really cool. One weird thing about it is it tends to pick, it picks from pools, but it tends to pick on like subsets as well. So I noticed there was one where I walked in and got the astrology signs, and it was all of them, so it was cycling through like Taurus, Sagittarius, Pisces, and it was cycling through those specific ones instead of just like 6 item room ones. And then there was another time where I got the mind, the body, the soul, Godhead, Dead Onion and something else, and yeah, it picked up. It had Godhead and then the mind, the body, and the soul. So I don't know what quite does that. If there's such a thing as sub pools, maybe there is. I actually didn't even realize that was a thing. But it does tend to pull from that. So a lot of the time it'll be like, hey, here's a boss and here's 6 boss items. See which one you get, try and get one, see what happens. But sometimes you will get like, oh, here's this type of item, so you're probably going to continue. I don't think there's many sub-pools out there, to be fair. Like, I can't really think of that many off the top of my head. I'm aware that there are, like, I could see there potentially being, like, if you walk into an item room and it's a devil pool item, then you could maybe get, like, 6 devil pool items. I don't know, or, like, a few at least. But it's pretty cool. It's a cool little challenge, different way of playing the game, mixes it up. You could probably get some kind of crazy builds off this that you wouldn't have had otherwise. But yeah, that's the challenge of the week. And now for our mod of the week, we have another huge overhaul here. We have the Binding of Pokemon Plus. This is like I said, an overhaul, all aesthetic, but it's really cool. It changes the characters, it changes the items, it changes the rooms, the enemies, to make it all Pokemon themed, both from the games and from the anime, and it's a work in progress. From what I can tell, it's very close to being done. There's maybe a couple of sprites that still need to have like animations polished off a little bit. There's maybe a couple of enemies that still need to be done, some items, but there's been a lot done already. Considering the game's only been out, or the DLC's only been out for 2.5 weeks, they've probably been working on it since before Afterbirth Plus came out, to be fair. But it's really cool. It's just very professionally done, and it's very easy to impress me with these overhauls, just because if I come across an overhaul and it's nicely done and it's well presented, and it's also like a full overhaul, and it's not like, hey, here's 1 enemy and 3 items and a couple of rooms that have been done, which I have no problem with. I respect that too. But if it's like a proper full overhaul and everything looks good and it's consistently good and it keeps that sort of level of quality, then I'm going to be impressed. And this one definitely is one that impresses me. I can relate to this one a bit more than I can relate to the Nintendo one I did in episode 1, just by virtue of the fact that I've played most of the Pokemon games. It's really cool. There's a lot in there. There's a lot of stuff where you'll see it and instantly know what it is, and there's some, and you'll be like, oh, that's smart. I like that they've done that. There's some stuff which you might not get at first, but then just adds an extra element of mystery to it. But yeah, so the Binding of Pokemon Plus, very professionally done, very nice looking, just a cool we And that's going to wrap up this week's 5 mods of the week. I've been doing 5 every week. I'm going to probably start doing 6 or 7 next week, so we can try and get a balance of bigger and smaller mods. But for now, I quite like I feel like having the challenge of the week and having the best mod of the week is fine, but then I feel like just having 3 normal mods doesn't seem like enough. So I might have like 4 or 5 normal mods, challenge of the week, mod of the week. But thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you for all the support on this series so far. We broke 200 views and like 16 likes, I think, on the first one, and then nearly broke 10 likes on the second one, and that is like 8 views away from being at 100. So that's really cool that they're doing really well and stuff, and I'm greatly appreciative of that support. Having said that, if you want to see more, be sure to subscribe. Keep the support coming. It's making me really happy. Mine's Yeti. I'll see you guys next time. Peace, guys.
Checks in the place, everybody getting many. Punks better cook your lady, can't nobody tame me. Blame me for keeping the runny yard rainy. Ladies used to hate me, now they come out, now they pay me. Girls on the job, pocket full of socks, got a fat notch, something don't squat. Down for the block. Try to be hot, but you flop. Wanna be shot through the top, but you not. I ain't never seen so much green than when I seen when my team hit the scene. It must be a dream. Hit the stage, everybody holler. Getting thrown with the show for a bigger dollar.